so much for joining me today, and I'm so excited once again, like I've always been, to actually host this particular show. And like I've always mentioned, I think this time around we are going to be more consistent in terms of giving you content, the content that actually meets the various needs of our viewers out there, basically in the spheres of business. And therefore you should be looking forward to every week's webcast that is going to be coming through to your social media platforms every week. And this time I'm so much excited because we have been working so hard to ensure that we build content, and not only building content, but we also engage and partner with various speakers, various presenters that will be coming to this particular show almost every now and then. And therefore today I am excited to start with, because we are starting with actually there's something that has intrigued my mind, something that I want to speak on, something that I want to address for businesses, for projects, and for procurement itself as well, because this is one of the key areas of my interest. So today I want to speak on the subject that is entitled budget cost overruns. Now, these budget cost overruns will be in form of your procurement plans, will be in form of your project plans, and will be in form of they'll come also into forward macro and micro level, where we are talking about the national level as well as the community level and the household level. So therefore today we'll be actually looking at budget overruns and the possible ways in which we can navigate through these budget overruns and mitigate the impacts that they come with and the effects that they come with on businesses. So to begin with, we need to understand what it means to what budget overruns simply means. So I have put up a very simple definition for budget overruns. This is where we are saying a budget overrun is actually just the actual cost, which is a bit above the planned cost or the budgeted cost, as it were. So you'd find that in most cases we have planned, for example, at a household level, that we are going to spend so much on this particular month's home requirements and everything, and then you find that when the month elapses, you'll have actually exceeded your budget, so you have overrun your budget. And now this overrun actually comes with its own implications, comes with its own costs and all those issues. So same applies to the project, same applies to procurement as well. So now the three categories that influence budget overruns, this is where I want to focus, and I want to ensure that the viewers out there appreciate and they actually be able to get this particular concept very, very, very important. One of the factors that actually impact, or one of the factors that actually influence budget overruns are what we call economic factors. What are these economic factors? For example, you have planned to say we are going to construct a road from Ndola to Lusaka, a dual carriageway, and this is our planned budget in terms of dollar. And remember, in Kwacha, in Zambia, you're actually using a Kwacha. So you'd find that these economic factors would be issues of inflation, where inflation kicks in and it just overruns your budget, where exchange rates sometimes they actually skyrocket. In most cases, you find that basically if you had planned for 300 kwacha or for 300,000 kwacha, you'll be actually be spending over maybe over and above 300,000 kwacha. So those are some of the factors that actually affect budget overruns. You look at issues of expenditure, income levels, and all those issues. So basically those are economic factors that we're talking about. Then the other issues are technical factors. Now technical factors are very, very important in the way you manage your project, and not only in the way you manage your project, but also in the way you do your procurement. Yeah, so you can have the correct budget, or you can have an underestimated budget. Why? Because you did not take the time to look into the technical issues attention to our requirements. We need to pay particular attention to the details of the specifications that we give out for procurement or the project, because these have got a very, very big impact on how these budgets are going to be overrun. Why am I saying so? Imagine in a case where you have actually planned to say, I am going to buy maybe a lamp for the house, and then you just say a lamp, and there are quite a lot of lamps out there, others are 2 kwacha and everything, and then you realize that the lamp that fits your cost or the lamp that fits your need is a lamp that has got a stand, a lamp that has got a certain type of a light, a lamp that has got certain details to it. And if you miss those and you just plan for a lamp, you'll find that at the end of the day, as you are running in the course of your procurement or as you are running in the course of your budget, you will begin to do what we call budget variations. And those particular budget variations, in most cases, they come to affect the budget on the negative side, because you have to adjust your budget if it's from 20 kwacha to 30 kwacha or to 40 kwacha. So in the nutshell, you have what we call a budget overrun. And then the last factor, which is very, very important also, and this is a factor that actually comes from the guys that do marketing, because it's a psychological, we call them psychological factors. Psychological factors, they actually make people overrun their budgets. They actually make businesses overrun their budgets. Psychological factors comes into play when marketers actually bring about certain commodities and products and certain things that actually just would want to shift your attention from your actual planned things to that particular item. For example, you'll be interested to, you go in a mall, you have planned that I'm just going today to buy a shoe, and then you reach there, then they'll tell you to say, if you buy 2 shoes, you buy 3 shoes and everything, and you'll get this one for free. And by that, you'll be intrigued. By that, you really would want to say, but this is a cost saving for me. But in the nutshell, you are actually diverting away from your budget, and therefore you have what we call budget overruns. They are those promotions that come. They will tell you buy one, give you 2, and all those issues. And sometimes you may go and realize that you are buying a shoe, then they tell you that if you get also this polish, you get all these issues and everything, because it's psychological issues. They're trying to play with your psychology. You'll be able to buy in and actually be able to find yourself in a position where you spend more than you had actually planned. So we need to watch out against economical factors, technical factors, as well as psychological factors. Now, what are some of the effects of these budget overruns? For example, on a project, and I think I'll just talk about 2 effects more, especially on the project, focusing on a project, and sometimes even just on an undertaking. For example, you're building a house, and then you find that there are these budget overruns that are caused by economic factors. Maybe you find that inflation has kicked in, or maybe because the exchange rate has kicked in, or maybe because the prices of the commodities actually just escalate in the middle of the project. So one of the effects that you're going to find, and one of the effects that you're going to encounter, is basically the effect of delayment. So you may find that your project may delay. Why? Because definitely you may need to go back and you may need to go back to the table and begin to relook at your specifications. You need to relook at your project scope. Maybe you may need to just subtract 1 or 2 things so that at least you remain within the budget, and it may not give you the standard or the satisfaction that you might have required in the initial place when you are planning, because there are these changes along the way. And then another thing is also project failure, because sometimes you get failure. Project failure comes in the sense that you would have planned to say, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I want to achieve at the end of the day. Remember, the project is just given for a specific period of time, and it has to close out, and people need to move on to another business. So when you encounter this budget overrun, there is also a likelihood that your project may fail, and when it fails, actually you lose out as an implementer, and therefore it is very, very important that as we actually implement these budgets, as we actually implement these particular projects, as we undertake our procurements, we ensure that these things are taken care of. We ensure that we come up with contingency plans on how we can navigate around these particular challenges. Thank you so much, and always please follow us on Facebook and WhatsApp and all the social media platforms, including YouTube, because this is your show, and this show is here to inspire, to network, and to ensure that each and every one of us are given the necessary information and the necessary tools that we need to navigate through life. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.